that's why so many people in Ireland say them. So something like Father Ted, where you go, drink, fat girls, arse. Those are versions of the word, but you get away with saying.
Same in the States, you can say frickin'.
Frickin',
I don't frickin' believe it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, Max Miller in 1944, he tells a story about meeting a rather attractive woman on a mountain pass, and it included the line, he didn't know whether to block her passage or toss himself off. And he got banned for 5 years. 5 years.
Wow.
BBC for that particular.
it was worth it though. I know.
The very first song, in fact, banned by the BBC was George Formby's "My Little Ukulele in My Hand." It was 1933. He was apparently a regular offender. The BBC described him as our old friend.
I remember when we were BBC trained and for presenting and everything, and we were always told you can say it on air as long as it is in a medical book.
Oh, I'm absolutely riddled with chlamydia.
Alan is sitting between us. The musical singer Laurie Lloyd, she was absolutely fantastic. So she was told off for her song. She had a song called "She Sits Among the Cabbages and Peas," and I think she's too rude. So she agreed to change it, and she sang "She Sits Among the Cabbages and Leeks."
You all know the movie Mrs. Minerva?
Yeah.
There's a scene where the actor, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, he jumps into bed in his pajamas just after he's got back from helping the rescue of D-Day. And as he jumps in bed, his willy falls out of his pajamas.
I was hoping you were going to say pajamas on. Off his body. Oh my God.
And for some reason, the editor at that point in the movie obviously missed it.
Yeah.
They didn't cut it out, and to this day, it's still
Sorry,
in the film.
I'm sorry, we gotta go.
I was doing a job recently with that. You have to say what the English here, okay, before you do like a love making scene around thing. And my agent was texting me, they have to do it the next day, and so I have to text them what to put into the contract. And I was like, boob no knit, top of crack fine, bottom crack no. And he printed out that text for me and framed it for me and sent it to me. Yeah, no, that was a feel like.
Now, you've got these chopsticks under your desk. What is the rudest thing that you can do there? I think there's some food as well. I say food, it's jelly babies. So, what's the rudest thing that you can do with them?
Is it break up the chopsticks in firewood and then get the sushi in from the chef? Oh, I'm just going to eat this up.
I've been there, it's what, to put them... Oh, leave them alone?
That is rude, but it's not as rude as passing food from one to another with your own chopsticks. So, if you want to pass a jelly baby to Angling, unbelievably rude. Do you know why?
Like that?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get
Let's do it again. Wait. Don't show bottom crack. Go.
You can finish it off yourself.
Do you know? I was very clear. It's passing with your chopstick to the next chopstick. It was not necessarily in her mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
why do you think that might be? Is it that you'd be mixing the flavors of the foods?
No, so it reminds everybody of Buddhist funerals. So, in a Buddhist...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Stand them up and terracotta stone. Okay, let's do that.
I'm trying to talk to you about Buddhist funerals. Jelly babies. So, you used... I mean, honestly, this looks like a meeting of my family. In a Buddhist funeral, they use chopsticks to pick the deceased bones out of the ashes and place them in the urn, so larger bones, you need 2 sets of chopsticks. And so 2 sets of chopsticks touching reminds people of removing their ancestors' bones and putting them in an urn. Sticking chopsticks vertically up in food, very rude in both China and in Japan. Anybody know why?
It looks like an Okura symbol.
Is
Again, it's funerals. It reminds people of chopsticks, which are used at funerals.
what's the thing then when you get it? You place the little table they give you for your chopsticks. Where did that come from?
Well, that's all because you don't want to put them on the bowl, for example. There are all sorts of words. So in Japan, the word for chopsticks is hashi. And then when it's part of a compound word, it's called bashi. And all of these things are really bad manners. So, watashi bashi, placing your chopsticks across the bowl like that. That's why you have the little rest.
I'm quite in the mood for what's actually that.
Yeah. Naburi bashi is sucking on your chopsticks. Saguri bashi is rummaging, food rummaging. And then sushi bashi is skewering your food. All these things in Japan are terribly bad manners.
You know, at Christmas when someone offers you a box of rolls and you're like, I love the orange ones.
Does anybody know what the world record is for catching shuttlecocks with a pair of chopsticks?
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah. Look, okay. I have got a racket and a shuttlecock. We're going to give this a go. Okay, who wants to go first? Johnny, want to go first?
Sure. No, you're going up.
Ashley, you want to go?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Maybe it's not catching it. You have to stab it a little bit.
I don't know what's the easiest thing. Have you said it high?
Well, why
Go
don't
high. Go high.
So.
Maybe it's not catching it. You have to stab it a little bit.
I don't know what's the easiest thing. Have you said it high?
well, why
Go
don't
high. Go high.
So this is a thing. Do you know what the world record is?
Go high.
Exterminate jelly baby. Oh my God, give a bunch of performers too much sugar.
But you didn't say that you had to hit
No, it's
me.
a world record for catching a shuttlecock, but I got to send it to you. Okay, try that. You ready now? You've got the hang of it. I will.
Let's stand up. So give me.
I'll do a gentler.
Oh, oh. Here, quickly do it now because I can do it really prim.
真的是，我操，fucking
Anyway,
bleed
the
哦
record is
，fucking
54
stupid 哦。
in a minute. So you guys are rubbish. Okay, last one. You ready?
Ready.
That's the most sport I've done. Yes. Now, here's a real faux pas. You might know that Oedipus murdered his father, but what was the motive?
Because he wouldn't give him the car keys
Look
to
at
go
the
on a date.
retardation!
Weirdly.
Oh my goodness gracious! Fucking neither cannot be done at night.
So this is Oedipus.
Oh my god!
Oedipus is talking to Tiresias, who's a soothsayer, and he wants to know who he's killed his father, and he's going to discover a mystery.
He didn't know it was.
So why did he kill his father?
The guy he thought was his father. He thought he was about to kill his real father.
That's like EastEnders kind of logic.
About the car was it because his dad wouldn't allow him to do something.
It is to do with driving
The chariot.
the chariot. You may recall that Oedipus was told by an oracle that he would marry his father and would kill his
I do not recall that.
Okay. He wasn't told he was adopted, so he didn't know who his actual father was. And one day he got into an argument with his birth father, King Laius, over who had the right of way, and so Oedipus killed him, but he killed him not knowing that it was his father. So this is chariot rage. This is before modern road rage, and even before that there was carriage rage. I mean, we think it's like a new thing. What do I think? The road
other day saw it in Central London.
It's a drive by.
It's a chain, so it's like a brand like McDonald's, and you recognise, oh yeah, it's going to be a nice one.
So you're not going in for a Big Mac, you're going in for a Big Mac.
I think we should move on. So there's always been some kind of rage on the road. There's chariot rage, there was carriage rage. So in 1817, Lord Byron wrote to his friend that he just had a row in a carriage who had shouted at him and frightened his horse and expressed, as he wrote, an intention of mending the road in his immediate remains if he did not hold his tongue. He held it, and I think that is something we should say in road rage. I shall mend the road with your immediate remains and do not hold your tongue.
You rarely see people from the past with the mirror. I admire that about innocence and fun. I mean, Paul.
Very nice.
He kept a pet bear at university.
When you say that,
No, I don't mean it.
oh, okay.
A larger gentleman.
Yeah. Oh, you're upstairs already.
Phrase road rage. What do I reckon? When's it date from?
1972.
88 is exactly right. You get an extra point. Appeared in a Florida newspaper in 1988. Probably a play on what was called steroid rage. Roid rage.
Yes.
Road rage. They did a study of 2,400 drivers in the United States. They found that motorists carrying guns more likely to indulge in road rage.
I know. Surprise.
I know, right? The 2019 survey found that the UK people in Yorkshire are most likely to rage on the roads.
The people in Yorkshire, to be fair, are just being annoyed that there's a road, weren't they? It's no feels when I'm a lad. Look at this now. Bloody road. Bloody road everywhere.
That's very good.
All going to the bastards. Stick to you in your trousers. Look at you. The only reason I'm ever stopping this, I'm copying from Yorkshire Southerners.
Who thinks it's attractive to stand in front of a female and shout in her face?
The entire Republican Party.
So we're not talking about like us, we're not talking about nature. It's the white bell bird. So the correct name is the Propneus albus. It lives in the Amazon. It's the loudest call in the alien kingdom. From a meter away, it averages 116 decibels. So that is the same as a rock concert, it's the same as a sports crowd.
Or a white guy in a bar.
Yeah, the bird is about this big, okay? That is its what is this thing that's hanging down. It's just a single loud note. I mean, it's just like a foghorn, okay? Have a listen to this. And what they do is when they find them likely mates, they land on a branch and then they swivel their body face on and they bray into the female's face. And she doesn't seem to mind. I mean, she risks hearing loss at this point. And the females judge their mates entirely on volume. And there seems to be no purpose to this. It is just to try and get the woman to go, wow, you're loud. Then I'm like, behind me.
What's the highest note you can sing, John?
I don't know, I've never screamed at a woman speak. There was a woman near you.
If I weren't doing 8 shows a week and doing a concert, I'd go
Yeah.
to B flat.
Go on then, let's go. Sing the word Mary in a B flat.
What do you think, Kieran?
Mary! Go on. I don't know why the Mary one.
Shuttlecock.
Yeah.
Oh my god, children at home watching this trying to pick up dating techniques. So, from one rude man to another, whose genitals are 7 feet longer than they used to be.
Don't know where they found that bit. Are we talking specifically male genitals?
We are telling me talking about penis, 7 feet longer than they used to be. Put your hand up there, do you know what it is?
You know it. They say you do it with your kid, but you know it more than your kid. Use it to dig the vegetables.
Is it to do with medical condition?
No, it is to do with a spot. It is called.
It's the name of CERN.
It is the CERN Anderson Mountain. CERN is known as the Great Mountain. So he's a 200-foot tall chalk
behind.
I'm telling you.
2002, he was given a condom by the Family Planning Association, and in 2007, a protester known only as the Purple Phantom painted his entire penis purple.
Using what? How do you dye glass?
With dye. There's nothing ruder than someone with bad timekeeping, but who is always a little bit late.
Well, is it to do with astrology? Because are we not all actually born under the star sign we think we are?
Yes, that is the case, but that is not what we're talking about. It's a small amount of lateness. Where did the star of ours? It's very important.
Is it Greenwich Mean Time? Is the clock or something? I don't know. Just behind?
No, it isn't Greenwich. Yes, nice guess. Very nice guess.
There's an atomic clock. Is it in Switzerland?
It is to do with the atomic clock. You are absolutely right. You get an extra point. There are 50 or more national labs around the world which all run on atomic clocks. So what they do is they measure the vibration of cesium atoms. Okay. So 1 second is defined as the time it takes for a cesium atom to vibrate 9,192,631,770 times. That's that number of times per second, okay, for it to vibrate. And then each clock around the world sends all of its data to Paris, to the International Bureau of Weights and Measures, and they collate it. So this process is called Coordinated Universal Time, and it is used throughout the world, except in one country.
North Korea. Oh, it's not Denmark.
It is Denmark. It is. It is Denmark. I think an extra 10 points there.
They don't play ball all the time.
Didn't bother. We didn't bother. We never updated our laws. I don't know, we were busy. There was a herring season. I have no idea. We just use something called mean solar time. But because the Danes have failed to play ball, we are pretty much a quarter of a second late to every meeting.
Certainly explains the fashion.
Have you been to Denmark?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, you might be welcome now. You know that, right?
It's all right. I just say I know you. Passport? Nah, Sandy sent me. Oh, that is okay. Take the minute. You want a photograph a second?
So it's called Coordinated Universal Time, but the acronym is UTC. Why do you think that might be?
Because isn't that milk?
Yeah. Is that? No, that's UHT. Thank you.
UHC, sorry, yeah, I knew it was
Yeah.
something.
And then there's PMT. Do not buy that milk. So UTC it's called. So in French it would be Temps Universel Coordonné, so TUC, and apparently nobody could agree. So UTC was just a compromise. It doesn't actually mean anything. Why do you think we have 60 seconds and 60 minutes? I mean, there was a lot of early attempts to do timekeeping. Why do you think we went for 60 minutes?
Is it birds?
Birds.
Another lovely guess from John, isn't it? He says Sandy.
You know when your 3-year-old says something and they're trying to be clever, you want to go, that, yes, no, that's...
Birds, John.
Yes, it's birds.
I'm coming off that sugar high right now.
There's a bird.
I always thought it was just mathematical.
Yes, but why? So why is it?
Because of all the factors in 60.
Yeah, so 60 is a fantastically useful number because it can be divided by 12 other numbers to make fractions easy. I can go back 4,000 years to the ancient Babylonians, who are probably the ones that came up with the idea of the 60 minutes.
They just got it from the birds.
They just got it.
Sandy mythology that I'd like to break.
Yes, no.
I heard a story that a young Sandy Chopstick was at potentially Cambridge University, and someone was talking about how cavemen or whatever used to use, like, they found old versions of calendars that cavemen would have like 30 things marked out for them, and a tiny, tiny Danish hand went up and was like, why in the hell would it be a caveman and not a cavewoman? And they were like, what? Like, why would a man be into it?
I'm coming off that sugar high right now.
I always always thought it was just mathematics.
Yes, but why? So why is it?
Because of all the factors in 60.
Yeah, so 60 is a fantastically useful number because it can be divided by 12 other numbers to make fractions easy. And you can go back 4,000 years to the ancient Babylonians, who are probably the ones that came up with the idea of the 60 minutes.
They just got it from the birds, they didn't.
They just got it. The birds.
Can I do a little bit of Sandy mythology that I'd like to break?
Yes, darling.
I heard a story that a young Sandy Chopstick was at potentially Cambridge University, and someone was talking about how cavemen or whatever used to use, like, they found old versions of calendars that cavemen would have like 30 things marked out in them, and a tiny, tiny Danish hand went up and was like, why in the hell would it be a caveman and not a cave woman? And they were like, what? Like, why would a man need to know 30 days has passed? That's clearly a woman invented those calendars for obvious reasons. Is that a fact?
This is a particular bone that is thought to be the world's first calendar, and it's actually got 28 markings on it.
28.
So I was sitting in a lecture and somebody said, this is man's first attempt at a calendar. But clearly, no man needs to know 28 days have passed.
We fucking do.
It's called your Shanghai bone, which I thought was first put to me by a wonderful woman called Dr. Deborah Swallow. So this idea of using 60 has been around probably for 5,000, certainly 4,000 years, and the Romans and the Greeks borrowed that. But they didn't take the bit about 60 minutes for an hour, and so hours, or whatever length you needed them to be. So in the summer you could have an hour that was, 75 minutes long, and in the winter you could have an hour that was maybe 45 minutes long. I'd say the Scandinavians would have had hours that were 15 minutes long in the winter. So the Vikings had a completely different way of telling time. They would divide the day into 8 parts, and they would do this by splitting the horizon into 8 parts, and people would pick a day mark, so a feature of the landscape that was directly above the middle of each of these sections, and then you would know what time it was, depending on when the sun was over the chosen hill, or the tree, or the field, and each village would have these particular day marks.
Say you're on a Viking rampage, like your people used to be.
Wow.
You're somewhere where you don't know.
No idea what time it is.
Oh, we are late again.
Yes.
We have our bacon and
Someone's family's like, guys, I was down there by myself, like a fool rampaging all on my own. I thought we agreed a time.
Here's rabbits invading.
It's a Dutch rabbit.
I'm serious.
That does sound like a euphemism.
Why should you not have horns on your helmet?
Because they didn't have one.
They didn't have horns on their helmet.
Did they not?
No, it was invented by a designer for
Yeah.
a Wagnerian opera.
Yeah.
But these day marks that the Vikings had used to get some names. So in Norway you might get Middagsfjeld, or you might get Middagshorn or Middagsbjerg. So Middagsbjerg is...
Say it again, say it quietly.